Is the clock not moving? Or maybe I have, okay, well I guess I have more time than I thought, I don't know.
Time froze.
What's that, I'm sorry? Time flies. The time froze, you know? I mean, and that's when you know that the Lord's with, no, I'm joking. So you guys want to hear kind of a sob story?
You got 3 more?
You got 3 more? We're good. Sob story for you. Ooh, that's a sob story. So I'm single. So like I tell every show whenever I tell this story, if you know somebody, let me know. No, I'm joking. So I'm single, and for the most part, you know, what I find is single people complain about being single way more than we really ought to, because it's really not that big of a deal. We act like, oh, my life's over, I don't have anybody to share with. And yeah, I mean, it's not always fun, but for the most part, you know, it's freedom. And the truth is it is all in God's timing. But there are some days where being single is just the pits, and it's miserable, and it's not fun. And holidays, for some reason, are days like that for me. And I actually wrote this song. I was kind of thinking about it during the season, like November, December. And Christmas Day of 2010, I went to hang out with my parents for Christmas Eve. And I was going to go home to my apartment, and then it dawned on me, there's drunk drivers outside. I probably shouldn't do that. Stayed with my parents. That morning I went home to my apartment really quick and got showered up so I could go eat Christmas dinner with them. We're gonna go, like, you know, to a restaurant. That's what happens when you don't have grandkids for your mom. You go to Kelly's instead. And but you know, I you know, just kind of thought about it. I had a couple of really good friends in my life that were typically kind of my go-to people for days like that. And one friend was a guy, and he was in a new relationship, and so he was hanging out with his girlfriend. And one of them was a really good friend of mine. It's a girl, and she had a new boyfriend, so she was going to hang out with her family and then with his family. And so I was left completely, like, with my family, who is like the least festive family on this side of the equator. Like, I love them, but seriously, like, holidays are the same thing. Mom cooks, we get done, my brother goes to his room and watches TV, my dad watches whatever football game is on that day, and my mom's in the kitchen cleaning and on the phone every time. And I hate that. And I just knew what my day was going to be that day, and it was just a miserable feeling, and I just dreaded it. And I remember I was in my car driving home, and I just cried, and I wept and thought, you know, how terrible my day was going to be. And I got to my apartment, and before I got in the shower, it took about 15-20 minutes, and I wrote this song about a big empty apartment and how it made me feel big and empty inside. And so this is a song called 987 Square Feet. I'll give you a guess if you want to tell me what you think those measurements are.
Your apartment.
Good. You're anointed. Call the queen, so you would think that'd be enough for little old me. Growing up isn't anything I ever thought it'd be. I never knew it cost so much for electricity. So now I know my dad always yelled at me. shares my couch, my house, or even my life, and I'm left alone. So why am I the one who's gotta be alone? So I got two more. Mike Laser, could I record the last two? Can you hook me up?
You said do or don't?
Two. Two, as in T-W-O. Would you D-O this F-A-V-O-R-E, or no,